Hey everyone, and welcome to Living in Ottawa. REMAX recently released their 2021 Housing Affordability Canada report, and it shares some very interesting insights into the real estate market across Canada and Ottawa specifically. But before we get into it, show reel, hit it. Living in Ottawa may be a great option if you're considering relocating within Canada. The June 2021 REMAX Housing Affordability Report lists Ottawa as one of the top 10 places to live in Canada. And the Housing Affordability Report has come out annually since 2008. And it is based on the MLS data. And the MLS stands for Multiple Listing Service. And it's a database used by realtors to access properties for sale. And the report states that 1 in 3 Canadians are seeking alternative workarounds in order to make housing a more affordable option. And over half of these are a mixture of millennials and Gen Z. And of those surveyed, 45% state that the national housing strategy would improve the ability for home ownership. And the 2021 REMAX Housing Affordability Report shows that Ottawa is one of the more affordable housing markets in Canada. And the city is ranked 6th out of 16 surveyed. And the ranking is determined by looking at the percentage of home buyers' monthly income that is needed to pay down a mortgage. And this assumes a down payment of 25%. Urban areas are frequently more expensive, but the report shows that most of urban centers in Canada are actually undervalued. Seems crazy to say that considering the massive house pricing gains we've experienced over the past 18 months. And although real estate prices have been a significant rise in Ottawa, there are still good options for first-time home buyers. Prices have gone up significantly in the last 2 years, and so many first-time homebuyers are focusing on condos. This is a change from pre-COVID-19, where most first-time homebuyers focused on townhomes. But the massive gains in the home values, many first-time homebuyers have had to seek alternative options from townhouses where they are getting priced out of the market, and they start to consider condominium options. According to the report, many regions in Canada currently have price values that are valued incorrectly. In other words, they are selling for much more or much less than they are worth. And Ottawa is one of the very few cities in Canada where sale prices are apparently accurately valued. This means that when you purchase a home, you do not necessarily need to worry about the value dropping dramatically. According to OREB, Ottawa Real Estate Board, the average residential property as of June 2021 was up 26% over last year to $725,970. And the condominiums were up 21% over the same time last year to $435,000. These are significant increases impacting the housing affordability in Ottawa. Although still a more economical option than Toronto, where according to REMAX Affordability 2021 report, Toronto's average home prices are $883,000, and Vancouver sits at the highest rates with an average price of just over $1 million. Regina and Winnipeg remain some of the most consistently affordable markets in Canada, as their markets are below $350,000 year over year. And beautiful St. John's, Newfoundland is considered the most affordable city in 2021, with an average selling price of just over $300,000. But this is about buyer demand in the marketplace. Buyers are searching for markets where there is a good quality mix of employment, safety, health services, education, and quality of life. Where buyers want to live is driving the marketplace price. And in Ottawa, most properties in Ottawa receive multiple offers during the sales process. This makes home buying very competitive. Continued limited supply will likely keep prices the same for the rest of 2021. And although 42% of Canadians say that high prices are keeping them out of the housing market, this percentage grew only by 4% when compared to the previous year, which is interesting as the prices have been so significant, and yet surveyed respondents and their responses have not matched that market growth pace. How do first-time home buyers face the challenge of buying that first home? Simply put, many first-time home buyers have been priced out of the market. Aside from home price increases, other opposing factors those surveyed had shared were low salary levels, fear of rising interest rates, and the inability to save for a down payment. As a result, people are coming up with creative ways to meet the challenge. In Ottawa, we see some growing trends where two families sometimes share the same home, splitting the floors between them or even the square footage of the main level. Others rent out single homes or smaller portions of the home. Multi-generational housing is also common. Parents are living with their adult children and grandchildren. About 1 in 3 Canadians at least consider alternatives to traditional housing. The report states that Gen Z and millennials combined for 54% of them would consider buying in a different neighborhood in order to get onto the property ladder, whereas 53% are fortunate enough to own their own homes due to their parents or family members assisting in the purchase process. And the Gen Z and millennials are also willing to change neighborhoods or regions just to be able to buy a home. And in fact, 17% of them say that only way they could afford a home would be to move to a new province. As more and more businesses allows for remote work, moving to Ottawa may be a good decision for this young workforce. Additionally, 15% of the Canadians report that during the COVID-19 pandemic lockdowns, they were able to save enough money to use as a down payment for the new home. 71% of younger Canadians aged 18 to 34 say that they were significantly concerned about being able to afford a home. And many of these younger generations believe that a national housing strategy would make new homes more affordable. In fact, Christopher Alexander is the Chief Strategy Officer and Executive Vice President with REMAX of Ontario Atlantic Canada. He believes that creative solutions and stopgap measures will only help so much. He believes there should be a national strategy to increase housing supply. Without this, he says housing prices will continue to rise as supply shortens. REMAX agents in Canada were asked what they thought the most affordable neighborhoods in their areas were. Realtors in Ottawa found plenty of affordable neighborhoods in Ottawa. They included Carleton Place, Vanier, Glencairn, Centertown, and Orleans. But obviously, it depends on your particular situation when relocating to Ottawa. We want to identify the best location based on you and your family needs. Of these neighborhoods identified on the list, only Centertown makes a very high grade. This is usually a largely walking and biking community with very little vehicle ownership, a very European lifestyle, so to speak. There's been a surge of apartment construction, and the area includes restaurants, retail, parks, and museums. Nearly half of the population is made up of millennials. However, even in Carleton Place, which scored the lowest on this list, offers decent scores when it comes to both housing suitability and housing mobility. And neighborhoods on the higher end of the spectrum include Westboro, Rockcliffe Park, and Alta Vista. Ottawa is large enough to provide a great deal of choice. The city population is just over 934,000, and it's diverse enough to include urban and suburban and rural areas. The city consistently ranks high among cities that are considered desirable places to live, and it is a multicultural city, but still has a small town feel. There are a variety of employment opportunities aside from the very strong federal government employer that are also a strong medical field, several universities, colleges, and a thriving technology industry. Historically low interest rates in 2020 gave people the opportunity to enter the housing market. These low rates are predicted to rise perhaps as early as 2022. And buyers without a fixed rate mortgage may see increases. Nearly half of Canadians expressed concern over rising prices. They're also worried about the shortfalls in their salaries and the lack of full-time employment and the existing household debt and the fear of being house poor, a term used to define where so much money goes to pay the mortgage and the quality of life actually diminishes due to the lack of available funds. They also worry about the mortgage stress test. The Office of the Superintendent of Financial Institutions, OSFI or OFSFI, requires that the minimum qualifying rate for uninsured mortgages where home buyers have a 20% down or higher down payment is either the mortgage rate plus 2% or 5.25%, which is higher. These rates were increased in January 2021, and although it is possible that it may hurt the home sales, REMAX believes that there will not be any significant change. The mortgage stress test has developed to ensure that buyers were able to afford their mortgage debt. The OSFI reviews the mortgage stress test annually, and because of the potential for change, some people worry that if they do not buy now, they cannot afford in the future. The first-time home buyer incentive, the FTHBI, can provide Canadians with an affordable way to produce a down payment for a new home. 35% of new home buyers took advantage of FTHBI, whereas 31 of those who did not use the FTHBI said that they weren't even aware of it. And the REMAX report shows that those able to afford homes, the majority are over the age of 35, and they live in rural or suburban areas and earn $80,000 or more a year. And those who cannot afford homes are generally under the age of 35, live in the urban areas, and make less than $40,000 per year. It is interesting to consider the long-term impact of the COVID-19 pandemic lockdowns. More businesses are continuing to allow employees to work remotely. Previously, younger workers frequently worked in urban areas. They were unable to afford housing in that area, and long commutes have made life very difficult. And the ability to work remotely may change that dynamic. Housing is often more inexpensive in suburban and rural areas. If millennials and Gen Z can work from home, will they move out to the heavily populated urban areas where they can afford to purchase a home? Moving to Ottawa may be an answer here. While rural life has its appeal to many millennials and Gen Z, often want to access pubs, restaurants, as well as centers for arts, music, and museums. And a heavily rural area may not meet their needs. But cities like Ottawa have neighborhoods with a diverse array of activities available. While the city does not have the lowest prices for new homeowners, it is still more affordable than other major metro cities in Canada, and yet offers an array of housing options, both rural, suburban, and urban, which giving great access to activities, employment, and quality of life. Is a relocation move in Ottawa right for you? Interest rates remain low. Fixed rate mortgages will help to keep buyers from suffering through dramatic increases. Although there is a high demand for housing, there is certainly affordable housing available. This creates an appeal for both remote workers as well as immigrants looking to start a new life in Canada. Programs such as the first-time homebuyer incentive help ease the burden and workarounds, such as buying a home to share with family or friends, and make purchasing a home for a first-time home buyer possible. So there you guys have it, the Housing Affordability in Canada, the 2021 REMAX report. If you're the one making a move, feel free to reach out to us. Give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, even wrap it up in a bow and send it first class, because we got your back. We're moving to Ottawa or anywhere across Canada. And each and every week, we're bringing brand new videos just like this one. So make sure to tap that subscribe button and click the bell so you're notified each and every time we do a brand new video. Till next time, take care. About 54% of them would consider buying in a different neighborhood in order to get the property ladder, to get on the property ladder. So there you guys have it. The Housing Affordability Report in Canada for 2021 REMAX. No, it's not called that. If you're the one making or buying a move, what was that all about?